Okay, I am talking about lifestyle hacks with Shaheen Jaffery. Shaheen, do you want to tell us about what you do? And then we'll get on to the actual topic.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you. Hi, everybody. I am Shaheen and I work as a reflexologist, holistic therapist, and I also do wellness and menopause coaching. So I run a local business in Leeds Holistic Health, but I also do online work. So I work with clients remotely as well. And essentially, I work with clients that are under stress, aren't we all? So stress related conditions. Um, I've got a lot of history in working with, due to my own recovery journey, chronic pain. So often I get clients that come to me for persistent pain. And yeah, recently I've niched into the whole sort of perimenopausal area. So that's really lovely working. I'm just increasingly working with clients that are on that journey.
Awesome. So, lifestyle hacks. I mean, we know about the kind of the obvious ones like drink some more water, get some sleep, but what would be the things that you would always encourage people to look at that maybe people wouldn't expect?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because I did write a little piece about this. So I'm going to pick some of the stuff that I
Mm,
found in that blog. And I talked about things that I sort of like words of wisdom coming from me based on my life journey and my own experiences. And it was basically like, okay, these are my words of wisdom to help you achieve a happier life and a life that feels more, like at peace kind of thing. So I would say a really important one is really learn to forgive yourself from learn to forgive yourself for everything that has gone wrong in your life. Come on, let's face it. How many of us hold on to stuff and we're really hard on ourselves? So forgiving ourselves is huge. I feel like it's really will be liberating in so many ways. And when I was doing my own pain recovery work, I worked on the area of, self-forgiveness, self-acceptance, self-compassion. And that's when I realized how much stuff I'd held on to that I was just, directing blame towards myself, things that probably weren't even, I wasn't even to blame, whether it was just circumstances, just life stuff that happens, but you end up directing so much self-blame. So I would say, think about some of the stuff that you're really hard on yourself about, and can you learn to forgive yourself and just give yourself more self-compassion?
that is huge. I mean, if we could get every single woman in perimenopause being kind to herself.
Exactly, exactly. Because obviously, like as we get older and as we reach that midlife stage, we just feel like it's almost like we become more self-critical, and we can understand why, we're obviously getting older and things are changing in the body physically and emotionally, and then we just find that everything like we just it is so critical at the way we look and things that have gone wrong in our life, and we think that we just suddenly to blame for so much stuff. So yeah, huge for try to do that if you can. And I think definitely, you'll find that during this journey that you're on, things will start feeling a bit better. um okay, so another piece of advice to be happier, from my own experiences and also what I advise my clients, is you can't control stressful events, and stress is everywhere and it's part and parcel of our daily living, but you can control the way you react towards it. And I typically grew up in a home where my dad, my late father, has passed on now, but he just was not able to cope with stress. And you do end up, learned behavior. So in the early days, before I started to do all this work, I noticed that that's what I had become. I'd become like, a version of my dad where I was so reactive towards stressful things or what I perceived as stressful things. And I had to really work on learning how to understand that, okay, yes, this thing is going wrong for me, or this is a challenge here, but how am I going to choose to react towards it? And they do say that 90% is the event, stressful event, 10% is how you choose to respond towards it or react towards it. And again, you're in so much control, really. You know, often people say, oh, well, that thing happened and that's why I got really angry, that's why I kicked off. But no, we can learn not to react in that kind of a way if it's causing, resistance and fueling negative emotions. So yeah, I try to practice that before I, preach it towards my clients. So yeah, definitely I would say just think about try to notice when you are getting stressed or things are going wrong, notice what your reaction is and just pause and take a breath.
Yeah.
And just literally, take that moment, isn't it?
Because often it's not even a question of actually changing anything. It's just pausing and acknowledging it and going, okay, okay. And then just in that moment of having just gone, I'm feeling really stressed with this. Okay, breathe. And that can just put a little break in the whole cycle, can't it?
Absolutely. And just prevent things from spiraling out of control. Maybe you going into rage mode, whether it's something that your kids have done, whether it's, you've gone back to your car and you've seen a parking, penalty notice on your windscreen, which can drive us all mental in that moment. It will become so reactive. Like there's so many things like challenges that we might be facing that we can just learn to, okay, in the larger scheme of things, how disastrous is this really? Let's put it on a scale of 0 to 10. How detrimental is this really? And you can do so many different ways of looking at these kind of situations. You can do I think they call it the 666 or the 444, or however you want to categorize it. But if it was 666, okay, in 6 weeks' time, in 6 months' time, in 6 years' time, will this still be like a major problem in my life? Let's just fast forward. This thing that is happening now that is making me go out of my mind, how bad is it really? Can we reframe it? Can we just take that breath and understand that? Is it really worth setting off that fight flight and create, or like causing all those stress hormones to flood your body, which, let's face it, don't sit well with perimenopausal symptoms at all, as we know. So so learning, just really most important thing is just breathing, isn't it? Taking that moment to breathe. We don't breathe. Something bad happens and we just like,
True. It's true. So have you got another one for us?
absolutely, I have. I've got another one, is that accept that not everyone will like you in life. And this is not a reflection on what you are or who you are or what you represent. So again, this all falls into that, okay, like if you're a people pleaser type of person, which actually I am, or try not to so much
Yeah.
now, non-confrontational, all that kind of thing, nice person, if you like, you kind of like need everyone to like you, and you think that they should, and then we take it really hard on ourselves, like, oh my god, that person doesn't like me. You start second guessing, I must have said something wrong, I must have done something wrong, and this again creates a lot of stress in your life and a lot of resistance. So just accept you might not be everybody's cup of tea, but it's not a reflection on who you are. You might be the loveliest person, everyone's not going to like everyone. So I
Yeah.
think just learning that is also something that will reduce the stress and help you to cope with day-to-day challenges. Another biggie for me, which again ties in with all of these nicely, is try noticing how you talk to yourself. So again, this, that negative inner chatter, is quite active in most of us. Try noticing, how are you talking to yourself? Most of us tend to, well, I mean, I can't really say most of us, but let's just say we can often fall into that trap of negatively talking to ourselves when we don't need to. So this falls in the, are you giving yourself lots of self-compassion, lots of self-acceptance? And again, especially as we, embrace midlife, this is a big one, isn't it? How are you treating yourself? Try noticing that again.
Mhm.
Try not to call yourself silly things, like harsh things like, oh, you stupid idiot. We do that without thinking. The subconscious mind is listening to everything. Try reframing, try being kind to yourself, and, talking to yourself as you would a really loving friend. So I would not say to you, oh, stupid Emily, why did you do that? I mean, you idiot. I would never say that to a friend, a colleague, someone we like. So be like that towards yourself. Yet we tend to say that to ourselves. So notice how you talk to yourself and start talking to yourself more kindly.
It's really interesting, that one, isn't it? And I think a lot of the time we don't even notice that we have this ingrained, really nasty internal chatter. Oh, you've always been useless. Oh, you've always been rubbish at whatever. Oh, you're crap at such. And it comes from stupid throwaway comments that have been said to us when we were kids, probably.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
we've made it worse and worse and worse by keeping reiterating it to ourselves. And there's 9 times out of 10, there's no proof to show that that thing is true.
You're absolutely right, Emily. And it is how we've grown up, things that we've been conditioned to, life experiences, things that have been said to us, whether it's, caregivers, parents, siblings, teachers. Stuff's been said to us, and we learn to believe this stuff, which, more chances is not true. And then we just level that, self-direct that, and then feed off that. And then that is, the lens with which it influences the lens with which we view the world and how we behave from moment to moment, day to day, and can literally change your whole mood from, feeling uplifted, positive, to like, I hate myself. Everything about me is awful. Maybe someone said some nasty things and you've just learned to believe those. So again, this falls nicely into the forgiving yourself, talking to yourself positively, doing lovely affirmations. They really do work. And I had to learn to do this kind of stuff. And it does feel alien at first, standing there in the mirror telling yourself that you're amazing. But you are really, we're all amazing in our own unique way. So accepting your uniqueness and loving yourself for all your flaws and whatnot, because everybody's in the same boat. Nobody is perfect. So
No.
that's, I think, no one is perfect yet.
So, do you have one more for us, Shaheen?
Yeah, I do have one more, and let me just think of the which one I'll go with. I
I just know that people watching this have a short attention span because we all do in perimenopause, so I don't want to go
ah,
too deep.
absolutely, yeah. I would say my last one, I would pick. I'd go with don't live in the past. Focus on the present. Don't live with lamentations and regrets. We all know that when we rationalize, we know that we can't change the past, but yet we still live in the past. We still allow the past to influence the way we feel every day. So focus on the present and making new, beautiful memories and having nice, joyous moments, and just release and let go of things that have gone wrong with you. And again, learn to forgive yourself. Don't go to the past. Focus on the present moment. And that will definitely help towards having, happier life that you're more at peace with.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're most welcome.